Hey everyone, welcome to Bankrupt Pensioner. My name is Richard. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. I've had a number of requests to show how I edit my videos and what software I use and how it's done, etc, etc. And that's what this video is for. I suggest that you might, if you're going to watch this, I suggest that you pause the video, go and get a cup or a glass of your favourite beverage and then come and return, because it may be long, but we'll wait and see. Let's go. Okay, first things first, transferring the files from the camera. Your camera will have an SD card. It might be a mini SD card. It may be one of the larger SD cards. And I have my cameras, the Action 4 and the Insta360 X3, have mini SD cards, 256 gigabytes of each card, and I use one of these to transfer my data. So it's literally an SD card adapter with a Type-C USB on the end. The reason I use this is because my current laptop, which is a Microsoft laptop, does not have a slot for an SD card. So that is the reason I'm using this. Your laptop may well have a slot for an SD card. These cost typically about £25, and as you can see, it's SanDisk. SanDisk are a really good company. I've been in IT for nearly 40 years now, professionally, and you know, I know some of the good stuff and I know what's crap as well. So that's how I transfer the files onto here. I'm not going to show you how to use Insta360 Studio for your Insta360 X3 camera. I'm just showing you the flat files and how we trim them and how I put things together. Yeah, I will also be touching on an application called Canva, an online application called Canva, which allows you to create the thumbnails easily to whatever video that you're trying to upload. I do keep things simple. I always do the same thing. I'm not in a position with 1.3 thousand subscribers to stand up and say, editing team, you run and do your stuff and make it look super sexy. I don't tend to make mine look super sexy. It's always the same stuff, always the same format. It makes it easy for me. Yeah, the hardest part for me is recording the content, and that's what's true. The hardest part for you should be recording the content, not editing. Yes, at this stage of your life, yes, unless you're on 100,000 subscribers, where you've probably offshored your responsibility for editing to another organisation. You just don't need hard stuff and super sexy stuff. Right, let's dive in and let's see what's happening. Okay, I have a file on my desktop called dump, and in that file I've created a folder called video, and this demonstration of VideoProc VLogger, let's call it VideoProc. Yeah, let's just call it VideoProc, but its full name is VideoProc VLogger. Yeah, I'm going to use the files in there to show you how to use VideoProc, which is a free piece of software. Yes, anybody can download it for Mac or PC. So in there are 3 movies, MP4s, and 3 images, PNG files. Yeah, in my case, the PNG files. So let's have a look. Let's go into VideoProc VLogger. Let's open her up. Here it comes. Here it comes. Okay, you can see some of my history here where I've been working in the past. But that's not important. We're going to create a new project. But before we create a new project, this is where the control files for VideoProc are stored. This is the resolution. We're going to put it at 4K, but we can lower it. Normally, for a video like this, I would do 1080p, but we're going to make a 4K video, and it's 30 frames per second. 30 frames per second, generally speaking, for most of the stuff that I do, in fact, 99.9% of the stuff that I do is more than adequate. I'm not at the stage yet where I want to produce a bit of slow motion in my videos. You know, I'm not into that kind of thing yet. So I'm going to create a new project based on these parameters. You can change it when you're in VideoProc. So it doesn't, you know, it's not too important at this stage. So we have the screen at the top here, this black bit that shows what you're doing and what you're managing. Here is where all your files will be, and here is your timeline. Some of the controls, etc., are available when you select a particular asset. It's called an asset. But let's import those 6 items. Let's go to that folder. Dump video. There they are. Control A to select all, and then open. It's now loaded the files. There are 3 video files, but we're actually only going to use 2. Notice 87, 88, 89. From a chronological perspective, I record that way. So I know that 87 is the first and 89 is the last, and I can drag these down into the timeline. I also know that I need my flash up, my fill-in for Bankrupt Pensioner. So we're going to go and get that as well. This has previously been created in an application called Canva, and I'll show you that quickly at the end of it, at the end of this particular demonstration. Bankrupt, and there is the flash. If you're used to seeing this particular channel, then you will recognize this. Watch this. Okay, so we recognize that. I'm not going to use it yet, so I'm going to press the delete button because that particular clip is highlighted. It's highlighted there. So I'm going to delete it. We're going to start again. So we want 87 and 88. 87 and 88. We're only going to create a short movie. What you want to do is crop the start and the end of each clip. So if you look here at the start of this. Hey everyone. There we go. There we go. Firstly, sometimes the situation is the audio is not in line with the video. Don't worry about that. Always focus on the audio. So let me just expand this timeline so we can see it a bit better. I'm clicking over here to make it a bit bigger. Make it a bit smaller. Here we are. Here's what we're working on today. You can see in the audio when I'm talking and when I'm not. So if I move this over here and press play. Hey everyone, welcome to Ride. And then move it further back because it needs to be somewhere about there. Let's double check. Hey everyone. Perfect. Right, so I know it's about there. So I'm now going to go into this part. I'm right mouse clicking on the mouse and I use the command split. I then select the bit of the video that I don't want, and it's the front of the video I don't want. So I highlight it and I press delete. It's gone. Now we need to have a look at the other end. Notice that there's no voice here. So let's have a look, and you'll see a bit at the end. I'm probably using voice messaging on the camera to turn it off. So let's have a look. Stop recording. There we go. There we go. So I'm using the command stop recording on the Action 4 to literally stop recording. So I know it's going to be about there, but we'll double check it. I want to split off the tail end now.
Let's get started.
There we go. So that's just about right. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to split and I'm going to remove the tail end. So now if we start this at the beginning, it should go straight into the audio.
Hey everyone, welcome to Rider Roundup, Bankrupt Pensioners' weekly edition of looking through motorcycle news at some of the stories. So welcome to the channel. My name's Richard. Let's get started.
So now we're going into the second slice. Notice how in the audio there's nothing, there's no audio. So let's just go in there and find out where to crop or trim or split this video, the number 2 video.
So
there we are. So if you look at the audio, see that little peak there? That peak there, that is when I use the word so. So I'm going to put it there, right mouse click, split, select that particular bit that needs trimming off and get rid of it. So now we go back into here and you can see the difference, the connection between the two videos.
So
there we
let's
go.
have a look at what we...
So there we are. We now know how to trim the front and trim the back to make sure that the dead time where you don't want to show the video in the video is removed. Okay, so in this slot here, there's 2 videos here, but in this slot here, I would normally put my Bankrupt Pensioner flash up like this. Okay, so it would look something like this. Now the video in this is not very good. I don't know if it's because I haven't got enough RAM or the processor is too slow or something like that. Yes, but it's not in line with the audio is not in line with the video that's being presented here. Maybe I need a better graphics card. Anyway, here we go.
Started. So let's have a look at what we're going to be talking about today.
Right. Okay. Now I know that this particular part, as I come through here, I know that the blackness of this Bankrupt Pensioner fill in or flash up is a bit sharp. So what I tend to do is I tend to use the black transition, fade to black, on both the start and the end of that particular fill-in for Bankrupt Pensioner. While we're here, we'll also go to the end and I'll put the fill-in at the end. And I'll also get the transition, the fade to black, to just make sure that the transition between my video and the fill-in for Bankrupt Pensioner is a little smoother. Yeah. While we're at it, for the start of the video, I also use a white fade at the beginning of the video, just so that it doesn't come ping straight at you. It fades in. Yes. So we know what we're doing there. Yeah. So that's how we create a video. Let's just go back here and let me show you how to put in a screen. I'll drag this and I shall put it somewhere on the overlay track right there. There we are. Because this is highlighted, now this track is now highlighted, but if I select this one, this image is highlighted. I can see that it's highlighted because of the anchors around the edge of the image, and I can move this image where I want. Now, I always work in the same way. I don't try to make things very complicated or super sexy. I always work in the same way. It's very predictable. When I get to 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers, I will shift my content over to some editing organization who will do it for me, and they will make it super sexy. Yeah. And I will be able to pay them. But at this stage in my life where I've got 1,300 subscribers, it ain't going to happen. So I have to do it myself, and I always do it the same way. You could do it. You can do this however you wish. So if I put an image there, what happens is it flashes
in
up
the magazine this week for the
and I don't like that. It flashes up and I don't like that. So what I do is I highlight the image and I look at the attributes of the image, fade and move. So I always select bottom right to top left, and top left to bottom right. So that's in and that's out, and I always make it 3 seconds long. Yeah. So if I just stretch this out a bit, which I can grab the anchor here and I can stretch it out for as far as I wish. And then I can bring this here and you can see how it works. It may be a bit laggy in the video, but it's irrelevant.
So we're going to have a look at what's in the magazine this week for the Triumph Tiger of 2024. Then we're going to turn to page 4 about Yamaha and them thinking about hydrogen.
Do you get the principle? We can move it further on and then it'll fade out to the right.
Not wanted on the streets. And we'll talk about that in a bit. And I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that, hydrogen. Next, Norton.
Right. So we've done that. So now you know how to put an image and bring it in, fade it in, whatever, using these attributes to the right. Yeah. So I could also make that image bigger and fill the whole screen like this. I could have done it with any image, but let's have a look. So what I'm going to do is this. Oops. Hang on. I could do it like this. I could fill this as the whole screen. Yeah. So what happens now is this. Let's bring the timeline back here and let's play it, and then it'll suddenly flash over.
Hydrogen. Next, Norton. 2 new Nortons are available, one at £42,000 or £43,000.
Or I could do some really silly stuff like rotate it, flip vertical. Not that I would want to.
Next, Norton. 2 new Nortons are available, one at £42,000.
So that's the basics. I tend not to use anything much more. So what I'm going to do is, now we're going to look at the export. Notice here that it's ready to export in 4K. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this in 1080p. 1080p. Done. I'm going to export it. This then tells us how we're going to export it. I'm going to turn it to number 4, which is nearly high. Yeah, 30 frames a second. It tells me where the exported file, which is going to be an MP4, the exported file is going to be in downloads. And this is the name of the file. And then I can use that as the total file then to which I then upload to YouTube. One thing that I haven't mentioned: audio. In each of the clips, you can adjust the volume, yes, of the audio. So in this one, if I roll, I'm now highlighting this particular clip. I then roll down here and you can see the volume of the clip. I can turn it right up to 5. Let's have a listen.
Looking through motorcycle news at some of the stories.
And let's have a listen at this one, which is still on at 1.
4 about Yamaha and the...
You can see that this video, which is turned up to 5, is much louder than this video footage, which is currently set at 1. You need to go and double check off other videos on YouTube that your volume is about the same. I usually record with whatever, and I usually find that I end up turning my volume up to about 4, which I'm happy with. I'm happy to turn my volume up to 4 by doing this. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I'm sure I could fix it in the recording volume on the camera and all that good stuff, but I'm happy to do this. It gives me that little bit much more control. So, as I said, we then export it. It's currently set at 1080p. I then go high, which means that it's going to be a high definition video into uploaded to YouTube. And when it's finished uploading and rendering the video, it will end up in the downloads folder of my laptop, to which I can then move it to another folder, or I can upload to YouTube directly from that folder. Yeah? So that's how we do that. That's how we create a video. Is this enough detail for you? Comment below. Comment below. Yeah? Okay. Let's go and have a look at Canva. Okay, so what we're going to look at now is an online solution called Canva.com. Canva.com. One of the challenges is creating a YouTube thumbnail that looks right without black borders up the vertical or across the horizontal and things like that. I use this solution. I use Canva.com to create my thumbnails. So I'm just going to show you now, and I'm going to create a thumbnail, YouTube thumbnail. So you get a blank canvas, and I can go and get an image. So let's go to somewhere else. Let's go to Google, and let's, I don't know, WRC 2023. I love rally, but that's another subject. So let's go and get an image. I'm going to use that image. Yeah, let's see if I can get it any bigger. Yeah, I can. And I'm going to use my snipping tool within Microsoft OS. And I'm going to create a new image. And I'm going to go and take a snip of this. And it's copied to my clipboard. There we are. It's copied to my clipboard. So I now go back to Canva. And here is my worksheet. And I'm going to Control and V to copy that image into it. And I'm going to make that image fit this particular canvas. I'm going to move it along. You'll see the white space here. So what I'm going to do is, I could actually get rid of that white space by making it bigger like that. Or I could fill in an element and take an element in. The element usually naturally aligns to a colour within the screen. And I'm going to fill that in. And I'm going to write my text. Write my text right here. And then I'm going to highlight it all. And then I'm going to make it bigger. That looks okay. I then go to File. I then go to Download. And because it's a static image, it'll come out as a PNG file. I can select JPEG and things like that, but I'm going to stick to PNG. I'm going to download it. It's now downloading. Write my text right here. Write my text right here. It should be called something like that. So if we now go into my downloads folder, there it is. And when I upload the video, I can use this as a thumbnail, and it's the perfect size. You don't get black verticals or horizontals or anything like that when you're trying to size everything up. So Canva is a really good tool. Let's get rid of that. So canva.com is a really good tool. And if you go to the home page, it also shows you all the work that you've done in the past. Yeah, some of these you may well recognize if you're a follower of the channel. Yeah, so it's very easily done. And in fact, the video that I use for Bankrupt Pensioner, and I think this is it. No, that's not it. Let's go home again. The video that I use, where is it? Where is it? I can't see it. I can't see it. There it is. I created that little splash video in here using a free template. Yeah? So I can I run this? Yes, I can. There we are. Let's see if it works. There you go. There's no music to it because I apply the music within VideoProc, and then I export it as a short 10-second video and use it like I've shown you previously as the start and the end of the videos. Yes? That's how that works. I hope you found this all useful. Comment below. Don't forget to like the video. Ask any questions you want in comments. You can always contact me directly from the channel on my email address. That's great. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been informative. I hope you've learned something. And, remember, sharing knowledge is a good thing, especially when the applications that we use are free. I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. And the best for 2024. Bye-bye.